Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and I'm joined as always with Connor, and we are going to talk about the season finale of BrainDead. That's episodes 12 and episode 13. Episode 12 is called Talking Points Toward a Holistic View of Activism and Government. Can the Top Rebel? And episode 13 is called The End of All We Hold Dear. What happens when democracies fail? A brief synopsis. Those titles are mouthfuls. Doing two of them back to back is even more of a mouthful.
What I want is I want a video, just a short little video of you reading the title of every episode of the season.
What really confused me though is the first one had like a sentence break, and I thought it was the because there's always been a colon or a period of some kind
Yeah.
in the middle, and I thought that's what the break was, but it was actually not. It was like the continuation of a sentence. So I paused unnaturally, and then went, "Oh wait, no, baller." That's anyway. Yeah, full spoilers for these last two episodes of BrainDead, and also apologies that it's a little bit later this week than it should have been. Extra shows, life schedules, and all sorts of things kept us from.
A general need to sleep at some point in the day.
Aye, that is specifically what stopped us yesterday. Yes. So apologies for that, but we're here now. Season finale of BrainDead, and possibly the series finale. They've not renewed it as of yet, and they probably don't need to. It's the end of the story. Like I can
It
buy.
was, it kind of, not to jump ahead, at least you could do more, but you don't need
could,
to.
but they've beat this threat, so it's not like
Yeah.
the political stuff will always be there to explore, but the alien stuff is done. But you couldn't imagine a season 2 of this without some sort of similar thing as well. Like maybe next year it wouldn't be
Well, I
alien
don't know.
bugs. It'd be
The ending does have that. The very last shot has that bug
true.
fly out
True.
from the cherry blossom.
That felt more like a Men in Black-esque. Just here's a fun little ending moment to cut to credit
No, I
on.
get it, but it's like you never know. What if one survived and kind of.
Or like episode 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that showed that there's eggs in the locker for the mantis. But we never came back to those mantises. Or mantises? But we
That's a
never
very
returned.
good question.
There was another 100 odd episodes of that show, and we never returned to that.
No, I think the point is here they could if they wanted to.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, obviously these two episodes, we watched these back to back. They might blur a little bit together, and I think we'll just talk generally about both. But so what happened throughout these two episodes? The first episode was largely a very pessimistic episode, or I should just kind of say sad episode, because everyone was kind of falling apart. Laurel fought with Gustav and Rochelle and kind of broke that trio up. Um, Luke was failing at stopping this farming bill from going through and all this stuff, and the head of the CIA was like coming down on him for not doing what he was supposed to. And, like everything seemed to be going bad. Everything was
It's
going
very very typical structure. That whole darkest right before the end.
exactly. Same with Laurel and Gareth. She thinks she's going to leave because she's going to go and fetch a documentary because she's getting the money from somewhere, and that means just kind of going away and possibly never coming back, or at least not coming back on a regular basis or whatever. And Gareth's maybe like, oh, maybe I'll come with you, or does she ask him to, and he's like, no, because sod that.
Jobs.
I'm not going to the middle of nowhere in another country and not having.
Listen to some what is it? Polynesian choirs.
Was it not throat singing or something like that? Was it? We went wrong.
I think they call them choirs, even though it is throat singing.
Is it okay?
But,
Right.
but I think collectively they are a choir still.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it is still singing, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, so everything was very sort of not depressing as such, but like you say, it was in a movie. This is the end of Act 2. This is everything's getting really dark before the swerve comes in where we can come in and save it. And obviously, the big revelation that helps with that is that Laurel finds out the beds for the interim camps are actually beds of flowers. They're actually prepping the cherry blossoms to sustain throughout the winter because they go out of season and they're not there and they need them to survive. And that's kind of all the main plot points from that first episode. I think the other big thing, of course, was a really good moment is when Ella comes in to talk to Red, because Red's been sick all episode ever since the previous episode where the Queen got hurt. he's been acting very ill, and some really fun stuff actually with that. With Gareth, like giving him notes to what to say when he's sitting at
Even
the
right at the start,
Senate
where he's
meeting.
just kind of holding up his hand, and he doesn't know what he's doing,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Yeah, did you answer it, Red?" And he's like, "What? Oh, yeah, of course I did."
yeah, he's sweating, he's speaking gibberish, and it's just kind of funny to see him not be together because he's been such a sly guy all season and like try to bend things to his will that it was just
Yeah,
really nice to see him like just mess everything up. Really,
it's
really
fun.
amusing. Yeah. Um, but yeah, he kills Ella. She and her bug presumably come in to take control because Red can't handle it anymore, and he pulls his gun out and shoots
No,
her.
no, she pulls the gun out first, and
Oh,
she
does
tries
she?
to shoot it because he goes. That's the thing about liberals; they don't know where the safety is, and then he shoots her with it.
Ah, yeah, quite right, quite right. Like I say, the episodes are blending together,
Yeah, yeah.
quite badly, might I add. Uh, but that's kind of your first one, and we're kind of skipping through that because I feel like most of what we're about to talk about is how
I don't know.
things
I
end
would
up.
like to talk about the scene where Ella got tried to get Gareth assassinated.
Oh yes, the stabbing. How could I forget the stabbing?
Yeah, and what a scene that was with I don't know, just the way it was played so dramatically.
Over the top is the way I'd put it. Because
Yeah,
at no point did I ever feel like Gareth was in danger.
no, but it was where the guy like the knife he put. It wasn't like a mugging knife. It was like
A
a ritual
ceremonial,
dagger.
yeah, it was like a ceremonial knife that you'd use in a ritual.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it was brilliant.
Also, I was still loving the I don't know his name, the guy who's reading through the book and he's fascinated by the language because he does this for a living and he's talking about how great it is.
Yeah, he
Um,
starts calling it art, and Luke's like, "Shut up about art. Just go and unravel it."
yeah. So yeah, that was the first one. And the finale, of course, we got to see the singer, the guy who actually sings the previously ons.
Oh, blew my mind.
Yeah, especially when Gustav goes over and knocks on the window and tells him to shut up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's how does this work?
Try not to think about it.
I know, but I can't not think about it. I
It'll
mean,
make your head,
this is a show with aliens. Yeah, I'm more concerned about the singer.
it'll make your head explode. And the
That's why the brain dead thing, you know, where the head explodes at the title screen. It's not because of aliens. It's just waiting for this moment where we all go, "What?"
so what happened in that last episode? We had a fun little mission with Gustav and Rochelle as they try to go into the camp with the flowers, and they try to sneak in. He pretends to be Red, and they have to hide and stuff. And he's having a good time, clearly pretending to be someone else.
It's when he gives the name and they go, "Oh, you're the senator," and he kind of just immediately puts on the persona.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just plays it up. It's a lot of fun.
And it turns Rochelle into Rochelle or something like that.
Yeah, like Rochelle Dashil or something. Like,
Yeah,
it rhymed,
it
didn't it?
rhymed. Yeah, he
It was
clearly
like
didn't know what he was
really
saying.
awful.
Yeah, it was good fun. Actually, the scene I want to talk about with the two of them though is when they get pulled over, because they figure out they can kill the roots to the cherry blossom trees by using sodium or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're getting that set up, and the cop car pulls over, and obviously that's got very satirical very quickly in a very extreme way.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they had time to write this after some things that happened this summer, or if it was already written. Because it's possible it's either.
I don't know. It's referenced. Like, I mean, I remember the first couple of episodes where we were like impressed that it was referencing these things.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, that's why I'm saying it could have been before because they were clearly had their hands on the pulse of these kind of
Yeah.
things right from the get go. But probably the biggest laugh of the episode, and I almost feel bad for laughing, but it's intentional because it's satire and it's
Yeah.
funny because it's pointing something out. But when he says he's got something in his pocket and like 15 cops all pull out their gun at the same time and say don't go for your pocket, I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at that.
I
That was a
did too.
funny joke.
It is funny, and it's sad that it's funny,
It is sad
but
that it's funny, but it
but
was.
that doesn't make it less funny.
Another moment I liked was Rochelle tells him not to move quickly or anything like that. He just turns to her and goes, "I know how to be black, thank you." That was
Yeah.
a good line.
And it was. I think it was after all as well, guys. And this is why I don't own a car anymore.
It's a reasonable. And we find out another twist. Gustav, this entire time, has been what's the organization?
NSA.
NSA. Yeah, the entire time.
Yeah, which is crazy because obviously at the start he was like the NSA are gonna listen in,
But then it's like that's how he knows how to
but
shield the
like
phones.
because
He knows the tricks. He knows what
yeah,
they're doing.
it's genius.
And he's like, oh yeah, but I was on leave. I'm like, ah,
It's
okay.
the way he goes. Oh, did you not know? Like, did you not figure it out? Like it's kind of saying it to us as well. It's like, did you not just figure it out? It's like, no, but maybe we should have done. It's kind of really obvious now that he says it.
Uh, um, so the big sort of emotional gut punch of this episode is that Laurel learns that you can remove the ants or the bugs from the brain by making the person feel shame and feel
Aye.
emotion through that shame, because she kind of accidentally does it with her dad, and eventually does get her dad cured, as it were.
But it's a sad fate, isn't it? Because then, sure, he's no longer possessed, infected, but
He's missing
his
half his brain.
Parkinson. Well, even regarding that, his Parkinson's then returns,
True, true.
and that's the sad part. It's like, yeah, sure, he's himself, but he's not really functioning anymore. Because you see him, he's just in a hospital bed. He can't do anything.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's fair. But is that still the better too?
I don't know. The singer at the end states that he would trade it all to he'd be possessed happily.
I'm
So
not gonna
to
lie,
get
that
him.
singer basically tries to ruin every happy ending we just got, because it puts a damper on everything.
He does. What a dick.
He is a dick. Um, but yeah, so the so Red tries to kill Laurel. Red basically has had enough. He's realised that they're sneaking into his pockets and getting tags, and he's noticing all this stuff. He's annoyed because they found this weird loophole so that this other bill will supersede the.
Well, he tries to kill Luke first, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, because that's a really funny scene as well. Because
That is hilarious.
he's trying to shoot Luke, and Luke keeps moving, and then he's got the safety on, and
He's like, I think, because at first he's like, just stand there and just stop fidgeting, and then he goes against the phone and he's following, he finally shoots, and the safety. I think the fact that makes the safety thing so funny is the one in the previous episode where he said liberals don't know where the safety is and
well,
stuff.
but what the good thing is though, that scene in the last episode and this scene in this one, all set up nicely that when Laurel sits down in front of him at his desk to have a chat, you know the danger's there, that you can just pull out a gun.
Yeah,
It does that good job of setting it up so that that underlying tension's always there during that scene.
yeah.
And they gave a plot reason why he keeps calling her Lana, which I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't either. I almost thought it was like an intentional disrespect.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Like I just assumed that he was just making her look like that he didn't care who she was.
And in an episode where I've already mentioned like 3 or 4 really good funny moments, another one that really cracked me up was when they start wrestling over the gun. Gareth jumps in, and like the three of them are all together wrestling for the gun in a really awkward way, and then the gun goes off. I love the moment of pause where
Well, they all look at each other.
where Red just looks annoyed at the other two, and then screams out in pain, and then starts saying, "You shot me in the ass." Like it's just
Yeah.
quality.
There's a
like-
second where they're all looking around like, wait, who got hit?
Yeah, quality stuff. But I like that he disguises it for a couple of seconds. He's like,
Yeah.
which
See if he can play it off.
I'm not sure if that is realistic, but I'm pretty sure I have heard somewhere that sometimes it takes you a couple of seconds to like realise you've been hit.
I don't know necessarily for gunshots, but wounds in general when you've got adrenaline going. Obviously, they would have been because they were having this like fight and they were
Wrestling,
active.
basically.
Yeah. So you don't notice because that's the thing with large wounds when you've got adrenaline. They're mostly dangerous because you don't notice that you're bleeding out until you've lost too much.
Yeah. But I thought that was the thing that made it fun. Was the fact that Red as well was like, looking side to side and trying to figure out, and then getting angry because he's the one that gets shot.
Yeah.
So that's all very good. And of course, Rochelle and Gustav deal with the trees at the same time as the bug flies out of Red because he gets shot.
Yeah.
And the intern just accidentally steps on it as he walks in.
It's great because Laurel and Gustav are running towards it like, nope, we got to get it, and he just kind of casually walks in and gets it by accident.
You know, it's funny. Like, I actually really enjoyed the finale, right? And like I said, there was a lot of great funny moments. Probably some of the best funny moments of the entire show. But at the same time, I do have to kind of criticize just how easy the solution ended up being.
Sure, I mean, but we always knew it was kill the queen anyway. Like they've been going on like that for a while.
Well, it was kill the queen, but it was also just do this to the trees and succeeds. You know, it feels like they've been theorizing and investigating all season, and then it became such a quick thing.
Yeah, I get that, and I suppose it also didn't have that. A lot of it was wrapped up by the singer. Like
Yeah.
like we kind of saw the main plot, and then everything else. He's like, oh, look at all those loose threads. I'll get those for you.
Yeah, I mean, we should mention that Laurel and Gareth end up together because she decides to stay, and they have some good moments in the finale where they kind of say "I love you," and
Accidentally, yeah,
accidentally, but then they kind of say it for real,
yeah.
and those were good moments. They had good chemistry. They had good chemistry all season, but. Yeah, that was probably my one criticism is that it just felt maybe a bit everything felt a bit too easy, and then the singer just wrapping things up at the end. And well, don't get me wrong, it's funny that Gareth and Laurel are still realizing there's stuff they don't have in common because that's kind of been a running thing all season. It was like just let them have a happy ending. Don't put a damper on it right at the last second.
It was the kids thing where she's like, I don't really want kids, and how many do you want? I don't know, a normal amount. 5 or 6.
Yeah, by the way, Gareth, 5 or 6 is not a normal amount in any way, shape, or form.
No, it is not.
Any way, shape, or form. 5 or 6.
I think 2 to 4 is like normal amount.
I would say 2 is the most normal amount. I feel like 2 is your typical. I mean, not that 3 and 4 are uncommon, of course they're not, but like 2's your.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a range. 2 to 4 is like that's a normal range.
In fact, there used to be a comedy show in the UK called 2.4 Children because when it was made, the official average of family size in the UK was 2.4 children.
Aye.
So there you go. More towards 2, but obviously there's still 3s and 4s because it's dragging up a little bit. So there you go. Of course, I'm an only child, which maybe my mother did on purpose because her being the youngest of 16 children. Probably put
Interesting, because I am the oldest of 3, but my mother is the youngest of 7. So 7's still a hefty amount. Like, okay, it's not 16 or whatever. But
16's
that's a lot.
Ooh,
but seven's still like above average.
But by the time my mother was born, I believe she was already technically an auntie, because obviously the age gap between her and.
I think the same thing happened to my mum as well, actually.
Yeah, because obviously the one who was the oldest was already at least 16, probably older, probably in her 20s by that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my mum's oldest is like almost 20 years older than her, almost.
Yeah.
Give or take. So obviously like 7 kids over that long. It's a wide gap.
Basically, what we're saying is the previous generation did not learn how to use contraceptives in quite the same manner that our generation is really taking hold of the thing.
Well, yeah, this is why they're called the baby boomers.
Aye, and they're all complaining about millennials.
Well, yeah, we're way outnumbered here.
Yeah. Do you want to know why we were all financially unstable? It's because you messed everything up.
Yeah, let's blame them.
That is their fault. Do you know, I saw an article the other day, I didn't read it, admittedly, but it was blaming millennials for something. What was it? I've seen tons of these articles, but it was one that was particularly stupid. Oh,
Any
annoying.
ideas?
God damn, that's annoying me now, I can't. It was something it was something to do with food. Something to do with food's changed and they were blaming millennials.
Those are diets, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
the point is, it annoyed me. I'm like, stop just blaming everything on younger people. Just because you're old and nearly dead.
Basically, Laurel and Gareth need to find a middle ground and go to the 3 to 4. 2 to 3 probably would be more in the middle of 0 and 5 to 6.
Well, let's be honest, it's her vagina, so maybe soften it up a little bit and just say, I'll have 1 or 2. And then once you've had the 1 or 2, then maybe just like, oh, go on, a third wouldn't kill you now.
Yeah. I was just saying compromise between. You go to the middle ground.
Yeah. Right, is there anything else from the finale that I'm forgetting? I can't know if there is. Oh,
That the singer acknowledged Luke as well. He put the money. Luke put the money in
yeah.
the singer's pocket. I didn't
Uh,
like it.
I want to go
Stop
back.
it.
This was in the previous episode, I think. But I love that Red and the Conservatives shut off the broadcast of the sit-in, but then they started using Periscope, and Red didn't know what Periscope was. He's like, "What's this? It's a Periscope. How do we turn it off? You don't. What?
He looks so mad.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
These might have been the two funniest episodes.
They probably were, to be honest. I think they really went all out because they were ending things, and because Gareth was in the bug thing, even Luke was in the bug thing at this point, and all this
Yeah.
stuff's all happening. It led for a lot of funny moments, which was good. So, nah, that's BrainDead.
I really enjoyed it, actually.
No, I enjoyed it too. I mean, it was probably it wasn't in the top like few things that I was loving this summer, but it was a really good, dependable show that I was enjoying each week. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, good cast. Actually, one thing I want to point out about these last two episodes, I really feel like the directing went up a little bit just for
Yeah.
these last two. It was a lot more low angles and things like that. There was just a lot more little touches to make it feel a little bit different. And I'm just wondering if they got like a special director in for the last couple.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do a season two because I can kind of see like if that was supposed to be like an alien bug alien sort of thing. I can kind of see them doing different characters,
Yeah.
different scenario.
Or I could see them having the same cast but doing a completely different threat. So instead of alien bugs, it would be, I don't know, not zombies, but like
You
I don't
know,
know.
like zombies, vampires, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like something else, but again, tone it down so it's not as movie like.
Yeah, because I remember at the start we were worried. You were particularly worried that it might just end up being Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Aye, because it felt like it might just be that, yeah.
But it ended up doing something a bit different. Like I said, it kind of toned it down. It didn't play it up too much, even with the alien angle. It kind of wasn't a massive part of it.
Yeah.
It never really was like a massive deal that they were alien.
Which almost made it feel really weird when we get a scene in the last episode where Laurel and Gareth are standing on a desk as like thousands of bugs are all swarming into this shape. Like that almost felt out of the show almost.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it did.
But yeah, that's BrainDead. That's the finale. Let us know what you thought of the finale in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Now, of course, as that's ending, so much more is beginning because it is September and a bunch of new shows are starting. We've had a couple already. We've had Quarry from Cinemax. We've had Son of Zorn from Fox, and we've had Startup from Crackle. Now, we won't be continuing everything we start this month and next month, but you can get the first episode reviews of all of those just now, and there's a lot starting next week. Next week's the big
We
week.
did. We also have Atlanta from FX.
Oh, true, yeah, Atlanta. I missed one. But that's the calm before the storm. Next week's when it really starts hitting because that's when the networks, the main networks, start bringing in their shows for the fall season. So look forward to that. We get a lot of stuff to try. Some of it don't look so good, but we're going to do at least one episode of them anyway.
The machine is about to churn.
I don't know. It's not next week. There's a few weeks before this one, but I am really not prepared for MacGyver. Like I don't think anything's going to prepare me for MacGyver.
Right.
But yeah, that's what's coming up. So yeah, let us know what you think. Like and subscribe. And as always, guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.